At Lagos Television, it's all about storytelling. And when others are silent on the issues bothering on the center of excellence, we remain committed. You're watching Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos.
Have you had a hard time with taxes and understanding tax administration in Lagos State and the complex nature of Nigerian tax law? Do you know what agency or tier of government collects the various types of taxes? Have you ever found yourself asking any of these questions? Join us for your favorite program, The Tax Talk, your infotainment program.
This is Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos.
It's the last day in the month of September. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the conversation on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning, everyone. Happy birthday, Abimbola Bello in arrears. Yesterday, she celebrated her birthday alongside her...
Two nations. I call them
two nations.
Two nations.
Okay, alongside her two nations.
Two nations indeed.
Wish you many happy returns of the day. Long life and prosperity. Happy birthday.
Thank you. And
of course, you
forget your name.
It's a good day to be alive. I'm thankful to be alive today. Welcome to the conversation. I am Joy Ulu.
All right, so I will say thank you to our #1 fan on Lagos Television, Adebimpe's dad, Alhaji Adigun. He reached out to me yesterday and he wished me a happy birthday. And he did say that somebody blew the whistle in the morning. So you know that he watches this station every day at any given time. Thank you so much for the love, sir, and for keeping it locked down here with us on Lagos Television. All right, it's the first edition for the week. It promises to be quite an exciting one. Tomorrow, it will be Nigeria's anniversary or independence, of course. So this week, we are basking in the euphoria of Nigeria's birthday. But is there anything to celebrate? Even the federal government is marking it on a low key.
On a low key.
But the low key, there are still questions.
How low is the key?
Rice is 88,000 naira. That is how low it is.
Okay.
A bag of rice.
Somebody said 100,000.
Long grain, 125,000.
But the government is selling 40,000 now.
Where? Have you seen it? Have you bought yours?
I haven't.
Where are they selling it?
Around.
Said around.
Location not available. All right, let's start the show today. We do hope you had, well, a beautiful weekend, however it was. We're back here and let's begin the show. Let's start with our news points for today. Shall we allow Joy, of course, take the Lagos story first. Joy?
October 1, court order restricting protests to 2 venues still stands in Lagos. The Lagos State government has maintained that the court directive restricting protests to 2 designated venues in Lagos still stands. The state reiterated this as organizers gear up for the upcoming October 1, 2024 protest in Lagos and other states, advising organizers to avoid disrupting social and economic activities in the state. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lawal Pedro, SAN, while responding to questions from journalists on Sunday, emphasized that the governor's instruction to the Commissioner of Police for maintaining public safety remain in effect. A Lagos High Court ruling currently restricted protests to 2 designated venues, which are Freedom Park and Peace Park, located in the Ojota and Ketu areas of the state. The verdict came in August before the End Bad Governance protest. This morning on my way to work, there was traffic along Secretariat area. So the police officers have taking their positions around that area to ensure law and order.
They could have a Freedom Park and Peace Park. In August, many of us, you know, mistook this Freedom Park for that's
the one on the island.
Yes, that place around Island Maternity,
around the marina.
Marina, yes.
Yeah, but I think the Freedom Park here is Ojota, the Ganifawa Ime Park.
And which one is the Peace Park?
Which one is the
Peace Park is Ojota.
Peace Park is Ojota. So,
Ketu.
yeah, between Ketu and Ojota, that's Peace
So there are
Park.
two different
There are
parks.
yes, there are two different parks.
Yeah, I think there are two different places. There are two different places. But like you rightly pointed out, the Freedom Park isn't the one
On the island.
Yeah,
on
but I
Lagos
think
Island.
there's another place on the island that is also but I think it's not that Freedom Park. The Freedom Park that is for the arts and the
Entertainment.
Yes, entertainment
Yes,
is not that one. But the Peace Park is that one between Ojota and Ketu. Wherever those parks are, I mean, government is just saying that only 2 designated places will be allowed. And they've also promised that there will be enough security to ensure that there is no breakdown of law and order. Tomorrow is just around the corner, and a lot of Nigerians are eager to know what exactly will go on tomorrow. The planned protest, of course, is not only in Lagos, there are also designated places. I know in Abuja, they're also still, the protesters are, they're insisting that they would like to have access to the Eagle Square. But I know also there's usually, is there usually a parade on October 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if there's a parade, that is where government will use for their parade. So they may not have access to that place. This is where the sense of reasoning will also come to bear. We do know that government has their activities there. So if there's a way the protesters can also understand, because again, these are little things that may spark up anger and, you know, just end up causing some kind of issues. But then let's see how this will pan out at the end of the day. Adebimpe, let's take your story.
Okay, 17 governors raise minimum wage panels. 17 state governors have raised committees to implement the 70,000 naira new minimum wage for workers across the country. The 17 states which set up the implementation committees are Ogun, Ekiti, Sokoto, Kebbi, Osun, Enugu, Borno, Zamfara, Kogi, Kwara, Gombe, Kano, Taraba, Delta, Rivers, Jigawa, and Abia. The development is happening as the federal government commenced payment of a new minimum wage to its 1.2 million workers last Thursday. The Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Made, in a memo to the Budget Office of the Federation, noted that the civil servants will be paid the minimum wage with effect from September. All the states have, you know, all the states mentioned, the 17 states have agreed, you know, to pay the new minimum wage. But they're still waiting for the reports. While these ones have raised committees, yes, they have raised the committees to implement the 70,000 naira. I've not seen any governor that said he would not pay so far.
I mean, so you remember again, they were carried along. Then the Nigerian Governors Forum were part of the committee that was set up by the negotiation committee set up by the federal government. They had a representative of the Nigerian Governors Forum. So, like you said, no governor has said they will not pay. When they will start paying, might just be
and the
in
implementation
contention.
of it is coming quite late because there have been new developments since the agreement was signed. So there have been new developments, high fuel pump price, food
There's an increment.
Yes, and food keeps going up.
Maybe that's why they're setting up a panel to look at some of these things and perhaps to also see whether they will be paying arrears. Because this could also be...
Nobody's talking about
the arrears.
Nobody's talking about the arrears now.
So, so will it be that it is when they decide to start paying that it will take effect, or will they backtrack? The federal government, you know, agreed to pay arrears from April, but then when they will pay it was not also spelled
It
out.
wasn't stipulated, yeah.
So we do not also know how the federal government intends to pay the arrears. We just heard that, you know, the implementation started in September and workers were going to be paid. So will they also break down the payment from April, or is it July?
You know, last week when we discussed this thing, somebody said, you know, I didn't want to be named or identified, said nobody, that the accountant general did not even say anything about the arrears.
So again, it's a case of, do you want to get your minimum
Just
wage?
collect the one at hand.
Just collect what you have.
But of course, here in Lagos, we know that Lagos was not mentioned in that committee, but there's a joint negotiating committee in Lagos, and of course, it's a combination of Labour, the Ministry of Estab, pensions, and all of that. So I believe they also will, or they've been saddled with the responsibility of mapping out how this will work. We just do hope that, you know, Lagos State will also be captured as soon as possible, and not just the mainstream civil servants. Yeah.
I even heard that
State
Adamawa
House.
State has been paying since August.
What?
Adamawa State has been paying since August.
Go and check their number, the number of their workforce. Okay, let's take the third story this morning. The third story, Naira for crude deal begins Tuesday, according to Tinubu panel. And the report says the Technical Subcommittee on Domestic Sales of Crude Oil in Local Currency yesterday confirmed that the supply of crude in Naira by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery is to begin on Tuesday, October 1, 2024. On September 13, 2024, the committee announced that the Federal Executive Council, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, approved the sale of crude to local refineries in Naira and the corresponding purchase of petroleum products in Naira. The chairman of the technical subcommittee is Zach Adedeji, who doubles as chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service. When contacted yesterday and asked if the plan for the crude oil supply to the $20 billion Lekki-based plant is still intact, the special advisor on media to the FIRC chairman, Mr. Dari Adekombi, responded in the affirmative. All right, so very last-minute changes or any issues by tomorrow, the negotiation between the federal government of Nigeria through the NNPCL and the Dangote Refineries Limited will start implementation of the Naira for crude, payment of crude sales to both parties will buy and sell in Naira. So
Going to be
will there be a
change in
reduction?
price? Reduction.
Will there be, okay, I don't want to say reduction. Will there be a change in the price of fuel?
well, I am not the FIRS chairman. I am not in that committee. But I do hope that it will reflect somehow. But let's also remember that, this is, so they will be paying Naira to buy the crude until they refine and the product is ready. We might not know how much they want to sell. So we still need to wait and see how this will pan out. For whatever reasons, if the exchange rate after whatever they do comes down to reducing the pump price, I guess one way or the other it will reflect. I just hope there won't be another increment from both parties. Let's just maintain
And what
where
happens
we
to the
are.
international oil marketers? Will they
International oil
continue to
marketers will
import?
continue to deal in dollar because that's the global price. That's the global market price. So this is just a Nigeria deal because the federal government of Nigeria is dealing with Dangote Refinery, which is situated in Lekki, Nigeria. So it is an internal arrangement. Dangote will continue to sell to the international market in dollars because that is what the trade, the trade denomination is. So it continues.
There's still some secrecy,
Well,
in
perhaps
all
we
of
may
this, because I
not-
still don't know why the marketers themselves cannot buy directly from Dangote instead of NNPCL.
Sole off taker. That's what Dangote, yeah, that's what NNPCL is. All right, the X platform this morning has many trending stories, but of all the stories this morning was going to Rivers State, and we're sticking with the governor of Rivers State, Governor Sim Fubara, who again is speaking and making some statements that some people are deeming unfit. Yesterday, while speaking, of course, taking a look at the things he's achieved in the last 1 year, he did say, he did make some comments, and he did say that he was building a psychiatric hospital in former Governor Wike's local government area because they will need it soon. What for? We do not know. He also did say that only empty barrels make the loudest noise.
He also said, is that a case of Fubara once said? Fubara once said what he did in 1 year took Wike 8 years to achieve.
So was it not part of the 8 years?
Don't mind him.
He will lives in a glass house.
She's not throw stones. Yeah, that's
So
it.
let's leave it at that. All right, that's trending on the X platform this morning. If you'd like to take a further read, you can go visit the X platform for that story. Those are our news points as well as our hashtag for today. We'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, part 1 of the conversation today, because over the weekend, issues around Bobrisky, Idris Okuneye was still trending, of course, concerning the very dark man, the Falanos, and a lot of people, again, did raise points as to the fact that, wait a minute, is this really about Bobrisky, the very dark man, or about institutions in Nigeria? Some of these institutions have been alleged in various cases here, particularly the EFCC. Today on the program, we'll take a look at EFCC and bribery allegations. Of course, this is not the first time the EFCC will be leveled with such an allegation.